Yo, what's up people? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 464. And gonna be completely honest with you guys, Oda did not disappoint in this chapter. I like the cliffhanger ending where you have Perona floating over the air and she ate the hollow fruit, her power in just taking out the hollow inside the heart and making people negative. But it seems she's also able to fly, or so it seems. But I liked what happened with Usopp, that Usopp is getting his moment of bravery, and if Usopp manages to fall, then the Straw Hats are basically fucked. However, now that the ending's out of the way, Sanji. Oh my fucking god. Now I see why all these memes existed. Like, I have seen all types of memes of Sanji saying he's perverted cook over 9,000. And I was just like, okay, I know Sanji's got a fetish for women, but up until this point, like, I've only seen a few small things that had me going, oh shit, you know, Sanji, you know, he's perverted. And when I first started reviewing One Piece, I had mentioned in a couple reviews, like, the pervy characters in different shonens, I really enjoy reading them because they're pretty, you know, comical and funny. And you guys are, oh, you're gonna love Sanji, you're gonna love Sanji. And sure enough, like, this right here, where you got Sanji and Absalom, they're going back and forth, basically trying to find out who is the pervier between the two. And we find out that Sanji wanted to eat the clear fruit, also he could peep on women. However, this is the thing. Now I'm like curious about something, okay? Because Sanji said as a kid he read through an encyclopedia of devil fruits. And my thing is, what the fuck does a kid want to read a book on the devil fruits? And the fact of the matter is, most kids don't like to read anyway. So right away, that's a red flag. Another thing is the fact that Sanji is talking about the fact that when he was a kid, he wanted to read and he wanted the devil fruit, and that all of them have the powers. But my thing on this is what would lead him to even wanting to get the clear fruit where he's able to go invisible? And where the fuck would he be where he has access to an encyclopedia that has devil fruits listed out with all the pros and cons and weaknesses? That makes absolutely no sense, because Sanji, before he met Zeph, was on this ship. And he was, you know, cooking, and he was scraping like the leftover stuff, and the cook's like, oh, make sure you eat up the stuff that the people didn't eat. You never know when you're going to get your last meal. And then Zeph shows up, Sanji goes overboard, Zeph gets him, they get on that island together, Sanji eats through the rest of the food. They basically go like 80 days without any type of food. Zeph eats his own foot. So when the fuck did Sanji read a book on all the devil fruits? Because that's a really convenient thing. That would literally be like, because devil fruits are so fucking important in One Piece, that would literally be like in Naruto, where Naruto just happened to get a scroll that had every forbidden ninjutsu in it. In order to get that, you would have to go into the Hokage's library and get it that way. Naruto did steal a scroll. However, that'd be like him learning the Edo Tensei instead of the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Like, this is interesting, because this isn't something done by mistake. That's one thing that just jumps out at me. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, do I have the wrong idea? Because Oda, for the most part, when he does stuff, it's something he's foreshadowed before. And I saw nothing in Sanji's past that made me think that that was something that he would have saw, where he got access to that book. Like, if Zeph would have had that book, it would have been something that would have been mentioned in passing. It would make sense for Zeph to have that book, because Zeph kept like a chart of the Grand Line. So it makes sense, because Zeph would encounter all types of crazy devil fruit people. But at the same time, Sanji was so focused on cooking and, you know, learning his craft. I don't see why he would want to get that. And then being on the Barote, when's he gonna have the opportunity to spy on women? And I mean, it's like his character statements just jump out at me, and it's because like I'm reviewing this more from a writing perspective. Like I'm reacting, but I'm reviewing at the same time. And the thing about writing is you pay very close attention to character statements. One of the things that you're taught, you know, I believe it was Stephen King, he said, don't be afraid to kill off your darlings. And that was something when I worked as an editorial assistant, that was something you religiously had to, you know, say, and it was religiously brought up to you, which is the fact that you have these cool ideas and you might have to take it out of the story because the story doesn't call for it. And so when you send back a manuscript or you send back something that needs to be published and you say, oh, no, this isn't good enough, you might need to look at your actual story and see what you can cut back. And you get these suggestions from the editorial assistant. Everything's, you know, got the red lines through it, and it's basically saying you might want to reword this. Every word becomes very valuable, and so you learn that when you go in and you write, because you know you got to get under a certain number of words. And for Oda, a chapter has a certain number of panels, a certain number of pages. He has a certain number of pages he can take up in Weekly Shonen Jump, so he can't waste shit like this. And given that Oda has the reputation for introducing something and then 200 chapters later it gets brought up, that's something that sticks out to me because I love the Barate arc and I was really touched by Sanji's origin story. And so I don't have to go back and reread that in order to say what Sanji just said here does not fucking match up with what happened with the Barate. So unless there's going to be a retcon, and Oda hasn't been one of those mangaka that introduces retcons in order to make what he has actually fit. Like usually when he introduces a plot point, it's something that he's already foreshadowed to. And so that's what's interesting to me. I don't recall anything that, you know, Sanji has said that has made me think this. Like, he was on that ship, and I'm guessing that was like in the North Blue, because he's from the North Blue, the North Blue area, right? It's either the North or the West Blue, and he ended up in the East Blue with Zeph and the Barate. That's the ship going all over the place, so it makes sense for that. But I don't see how that's something he would have done, so I'm not going to linger on that too much because I feel like I spent a few too many minutes on that. But this fight in particular, as Sanji's getting more and more worked up about the fact that his dream has been taken from him, it's very interesting. Because on one hand, you have Oda hiding all of this shit with Sanji with this comedy where Sanji's just like, I wanted to go into every bathhouse and peep on so many women. I mean, I wanted to do so much good with this devil fruit. And you got like the side characters and like, he's such a pervert. And then Absalom's like, I can't believe he wanted this fruit in order to spy on people. And then Sanji kicks him in the face and he says, look, dude, you're one to talk. You're a pervert too. And the crowd, the people watching are like, oh my God, he's absolutely right. And so you have those moments where it's pretty hilarious, where it's like, who can out pervert the other? But at the same time, I like how we see some awareness in Sanji. Because Sanji says, you're hiding bazookas. And when Sanji kicks the dude, all Absalom's bazookas come out. And like, his underling's like, where did his bazookas come from? I don't understand. And that's when, you know, you find out Sanji read the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. Everything that the clear fruit user touches becomes invisible. And that ties into this next point. What we find out is Sanji, as he's getting pummeled, doesn't want his blood to stain Nami's dress, which is pretty honorable, but at the same time, it's interesting that Oda has taken Sanji's same perverted nature and he's chosen to not want to blemish Nami, because Nami's in the white dress, purity, and having the blood on that, like that's interesting. That somebody that perverted can be that honorable, that respectful. That's very interesting. That's a very nice twist on what we have gotten introduced to. I like what Oda just did there. That was pretty cool to see that. Very good contrast. And when Sanji grabs hold of Absalom after he turns invisible, he says, Well, you're made up of all kinds of fucking meat, right? All these animals. You'll make some really good ground beef, bitch. And that's when Sanji proceeds to lay the smackdown on this dude. That was really cool, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of those chapters where I wanted Sanji to break his rule. I just want Sanji to punch him. I know Sanji, because him being a cook, he's not going to use his hands in combat. Might use the knife to chop a few things up. I just want Sanji to deck this dude, man. And in a way, I'm disappointed Nami didn't wake up and just deck one of these dudes, man. I really wanted to see that. But this tidbit on Sanji is something like, holy shit, man. Like, my whole thing's going off. Because I know Oda uses red herrings to hide shit in plain sight. And I've always said for the longest, you know, if you go back and you check my Oda reviews, I said one thing I respect about Oda is he hits you with the heavy hand, where you get this information dump. But he hits you with the soft hand, where you get like the slice of life moments with the Straw Hats, you get the funny moments, you get the really cool fight scenes, and he just kind of goes back and forth. And it's just like the build up with the Davy back arc, where you got like the light moments, but there was a build up towards something serious, and then we got the whole thing with Nico Robin. So I'm wondering if this is Oda potentially opening up the door to, say, Barate, Sanji, Devil Fruit book. Sanji, you can use him to take down every Devil Fruit user that's on the Grand Line, because he knows all of their weaknesses inside and out. And that would be something that comes in handy for Luffy, but at the same time, that's something that would be more Nico Robin, and that will be something that's more Nami, because they're the intelligent ones on the crew. So it's just like, it's something I'm not quite sure. It's like there's a cog missing. There's something that's not quite hitting on this. I'm not sure what it is, because it wouldn't make sense to have three super intelligent people on the same crew. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at the current structure of the Straw Hats, you have Nico Robin, she knows the underworld. You have Nami, she knows the seas. The Devil Fruits, yeah, you could kind of tie that into the underworld. Like, you could say Nico Robin will probably be the one that knows more about that, because she knows history. And Devil Fruits are part of history. So it would make sense for Nico Robin to possess that knowledge. So where's Sanji at? I always had Sanji as that guy like Zoro. Like, Zoro has the gut instinct. Like, Zoro has really good instincts. He gets lost a lot, but he has good instincts for situations. Luffy has great emotional intelligence. He's able to read the atmosphere of a room. He trolls a lot, but Luffy knows people's emotions. And Sanji always struck me as a street smart guy. Usopp, great liar. Chopper sees the best in people. Wants to help heal everybody. Like, everyone had their own level of intelligence. And this is crossing more over into Nami and Nico Robin stuff. And when you have a character that does that, it gets to the point where you now invalidate those other two characters, because that's something that they would have brought. Sanji's going to have the cool fight scene. So, I mean, it's like there's a cog missing on this. I'm not sure what I missed, but I know damn well I didn't miss anything at the same time. Because, again, that arc is one of my favorites so far. And that backstory right after Nami's is my favorite. So I'm going to break off the chapter review here, but my chapter question to you guys is, out of all the Devil Fruits that we've been introduced to so far, up to chapter 464, what Devil Fruit would you want to have? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video, guys.